The truth about screen time and physical fatigue, why screen fatigue feels physical even without movement. Many finished long days on screens feeling physically exhausted, even though they barely moved at all. Their eyes feel heavy, body sluggish posture tight, and brain strangely drained. This experience feels confusing. As physical fatigue is usually associated with activity, screen fatigue comes from mental stimulation, visual strain, nervous system overload, and physical stillness. The brain never really stops processing. It's constantly engaged with digital devices, reading text, switching attention, reacting to notifications, watching movement, interpreting information. Even when relaxing online, the brain remains highly active. Mental stimulation creates physical fatigue indirectly. Why your eyes become tired so quickly? They work harder during prolonged screen use. Focusing on close-up digital content for hours requires continuous visual adjustment. People blink less, increasing dryness and eye strain. Headaches, blurry vision, and heavy eyes appear. This discomfort contributes significantly to overall fatigue over long periods, a situation that feels extremely familiar now. After long study sessions, my body feels exhausted. Shoulders tight, eyes tired, and mentally everything starts feeling slower. Stepping outside or walking around shifts the fatigue. The body responds differently to continuous screen exposure. Why stillness drains the body too. Screen time keeps the body physically still for long periods. Sitting for hours affects circulation, posture, muscle tension, and breathing patterns. Muscles stay fixed, neck and shoulders tighten, breathing becomes shallower. The body feels heavier. Too much stillness creates its own type of fatigue, even though people associate rest with sitting still. The difference between relaxation and stimulation: screens often stimulate the brain more than they calm it. Fast-moving content, constant novelty, notifications, social media, and endless scrolling keep attention engaged. Is the brain actually resting during screen time, or is it simply distracted? They are not the same. Why blue light affects energy and sleep. Blue light exposure, especially late at night, interferes with melatonin. The brain uses light signals to regulate sleep-wake cycles. Screens before bed keep the body alert. This mismatch makes sleep feel lighter, less restorative, or delayed altogether. Why mental overload turns into physical exhaustion. The brain and body are connected. Constant information processing increases stress, attention, fatigue, and nervous system activation. Mental exhaustion shows up physically through heaviness, tension, headaches, and low energy. The fatigue is real physically, even though the original source was cognitive overload. The internet keeps attention in a constantly alert state. Digital environments capture attention continuously. Notifications, rapid content changes, recommendations, messages, and endless feeds train the brain to stay alert. This constant anticipation keeps the nervous system activated, slowly draining energy over time. Why multitasking on screens makes fatigue worse: multiple tabs, messages, videos while working. The brain keeps switching tasks rapidly, increasing cognitive fatigue significantly. Constant switching exhausts attention surprisingly fast. The brain loses momentum every time focus resets. The body was not designed for continuous digital exposure. Human biology developed around movement and natural light. Continuous screen exposure is relatively new biologically. The brain adapts, but not always optimally. This is why extended screen use can feel draining in ways that are difficult to explain. Why breaks change fatigue more than people expect. Small breaks help significantly. Standing up, walking briefly, looking away from screens, stretching, or going outside for a few minutes. That shift shows how responsive the nervous system is to movement and environmental change. Fatigue builds partly because the brain and body stay locked in the same sensory environment too long. The part that feels slightly uncomfortable. Screen fatigue has become so normal that many barely question it. Constant tiredness, eye strain, brain fog, poor posture, and mental exhaustion are treated as unavoidable. But normal does not always mean healthy. The body may be adapting without functioning well. People often blame themselves for feeling lazy when they are overstimulated and mentally exhausted. Why balance matters more than elimination. The solution is not completely avoiding screens. Modern life depends on them for work, school, communication, and learning. The bigger issue is balance. More movement, better sleep, reduced overstimulation, and real mental quiet. Technology itself is not the problem. Constant uninterrupted exposure usually is. Final thoughts. Prolonged digital exposure affects the brain and body simultaneously. Mental stimulation, eye strain, physical stillness, nervous system overload, and disrupted sleep all contribute. Even though screen use feels physically inactive, the body processes large amounts of sensory and cognitive activity. Once you recognize how connected mental and physical fatigue are, modern screen exhaustion makes much more sense.